Morning, Steve Free in Chicago with the morning grain comments. Well, happy Wednesday. The only really new information we get today is the ethanol numbers, and production in stock should be just slightly higher than it was last week. We have seen margins improve, but cash basis levels on corn yesterday exploded higher as the pipeline gets pretty thin. Early on, Illinois corn yields are kind of less than what farmers had expected, especially in some of the east central areas. And there is some concern that as the harvest progresses, the yield may not be high enough to justify the USDA's latest numbers. This could also be true in soybeans if the actual pod weight and seed weight is less than what the 5-year average that the USDA used in the September report. We also watched that the Dalian meal futures are higher while soybeans are lower. That's improving crush margins there. And yesterday, China had to pay up for Brazil cargoes of soybeans. I think their pipeline is getting pretty thin, and at the Gulf, there's still not ability to load boats to China. But I think we're getting closer, which offers some support out of the market. So if the yields are lower and if the demand starts to improve, then I think the market is trying to put in a short-term bottom. Technically speaking, we are testing some key areas in the beans around the $13 area. Corn maybe the $5.32 area, and in wheat 7.11 in December, Chicago, and then the next resistance is 7.19. A trade through those price levels would actually make the charts look friendly and stop the fund selling out of their long positions and the fact that they're short meal and wheat, and actually have them come in and start buying, even though we're in the middle or at least the start of U.S. harvest. I think that the open interest actually yesterday went up in beans and corn and meal, but still dropped in oil and wheat. The 2-week U.S. Midwest forecast is warm and dry, which should help maturation and harvest, but also could be dry in the southern plains for wheat planting. It's still dry in the Black Sea and also in the northern 2/3 of Brazil, and parts of Argentina is starting to dry out. Argentina lowered their next year's soybean crop to about 43 million metric tons, and the USDA is at 52. They did raise their Argentina corn crop to a record 55 million metric tons. Wheat yesterday had a big up day after Canada came out with a lower than expected crop, and their exports might be only 16 million tons versus 26 last year. Argentina, though, also raised their wheat crop number to 20 million tons after last week's rains. The French crop is still forecasted around 36 million tons, but only maybe 9 million tons of that is milling wheat. And China yesterday was a buyer of French feed wheat. We also noted that the Russian crop is 87% harvest, and the crop is probably 74 million tons. So I think some people think that the wheat numbers, as far as USDA, too low on demand and too high on exports. As always, these are my thoughts and not those of ADM Investor Services. Have a safe and profitable trading day.